Motor outdoors. Motor outdoors. Here we come. Motor outdoors. Motor outdoors. Here we come.
Go.
I was gonna say,
Does everybody say 3, 2, 1, go on it?
yeah.
Okay, I kind of figured.
I thought the moderator was going to take the bull by the horn.
I just wanted to see what you guys were gonna do because
Way to run with it, man.
I was staring at Mac's camera waiting for him to do something.
I was enamored with his mustache. I just couldn't stop staring.
Dude, it's good, right? Let's talk about that. Welcome to Border Outdoors Podcast. I'm Mac.
I'm Seth.
We got Seth, Cory, Scott, and Trevor here. I'll just save everyone the headache because it gets awkward. Let's talk about this.
I'm Scott.
I've had a lot. You would not believe the amount of comments I've had about my mustache.
How gross
Kinda
it is
nice.
here.
What?
Nothing.
Is it good or bad comments?
Good.
What does Mariah think of it?
She says it's growing on her.
It sure is.
But
As they get older, that happens. They start to get mustaches.
Yeah.
well, I told her I don't have to wait till the fall to do a mustache anymore because now I got Marvin, so I can be dad mode all the time with the mustache. So I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm keeping it.
Mhm.
But
You can just go
Everyone's heard it.
full blown pedophile. I'm gonna buy you some like yellow aviator sunglasses. You can go look
what
for
am I?
it.
I'm not the what's that bomber that did that?
Unabomber.
Yeah, the Unabomber.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
No, I'm liking it. I'm the clean shaven, seeing the double chin thing is a little hard to get used to, but I really like it.
Do you take all your selfies like this, like all the girls now, like way up, like?
Yeah, you gotta
Your
have
duck
it
lip.
like even with this, like
Just her
I
hands
thought,
duck
maybe I
face.
should have it up.
Yes, there you go.
Is that a young Tom Selleck? Kids are going.
Mega PI son of a bitch.
Holy frick, man! You sweep your floors with that thing. That thing's getting out of
That's pretty
hand.
impressive.
It is.
I've been watching a lot of Yellowstone and The Ranch, and I saw Sam Elliott, and I'm like,
And 70s porn.
yeah, Ron Jeremy.
Yeah.
So I was like, I got to do it. I'm gonna do the
looks good.
mustache.
It looks good on you, my friend.
What's your guys' favorite facial hair to have that your wife absolutely fucking hates?
Handlebars, for sure. Handlebar mustache. She hates it. I mean, just hates it.
It's
I
a
love
pretty gross look on you, Seth. I'm not gonna lie.
Well,
I think
thank
he
you.
looks good. He looks like a little young
Thank
Hulk
you.
Hogan.
She doesn't like.
You look like a little Hulk Hogan.
Oh, thank you, little.
Let me tell you something, brother.
My wife doesn't like basically from like the chin
Chin
line
strap?
down. Doesn't like any of that. That's it.
The-
Like
the
I
chin
can
strap?
have like the trimmed beard. She doesn't care about that. But anything underneath on my neck.
Yeah, see, I can't have anything on my neck. It just bugs the shit out of me. My wife was not a huge fan of the beard because I had just a goatee for years. And she wasn't a huge fan of the beard when I first started growing it. And I started growing it out of laziness because I was like, screw it. We'll try this. And so she wasn't a huge fan, I don't think, at the beginning, but I think it's grown on her over the years where, I shave my head and then just, have some. So
You walk up to her and be like, I've traveled 10,000 miles to give you my seed.
Jesus.
What the? Whoa.
It's from I think Anchorman 2 or Anchorman with not Ron Jeremy. Ron Burgundy. Ron Burgundy
Wrong movie.
as a lumberjack.
Completely wrong movie.
Cornerstone, and he's like, I've traveled 10,000 miles to give you my seed. And he's got a
Oh,
raging
geez.
boner, and he's got a flannel shirt on.
is that where it's from? Is that meme?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know the meme, but
You know what you should do? Next time you walk in the house, you should just walk in the house. Oop. Oh, there, my computer went wonky. Uh-oh.
What?
you're just fine.
Yeah, we can hear you and
I
see
can't
you.
say anything. Anyways, hey Mac, walk in the house and just play this theme song as you walk in.
Oh, yeah.
That is a Magnum PI soundtrack.
Hell yeah.
I don't think she'd even know what that is. I'd have to play like.
Well,
No,
she
no.
about to find out.
Oh. I can't see anything.
Scott, what about your facial situation?
My wife hates any facial hair, and I didn't grow a beard until pandemic. And
Really?
the only reason I ever grew it was because I was like, well, we're all stuck at home for like 2 months, and I'm still not getting laid. Fuck it, I'm gonna go.
What have I got to lose?
And so, like, I let it go for like 2-3 weeks, and then she made the mistake of saying, "Hey, I think you could grow a beard." Fuck it.
All right.
Sounds like permission to me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
buddy.
and so I let it rock, but she hates it. She regularly
Really?
tells me how much she hates it.
I thought
Oh,
it was
man.
when you went to the Boundary Waters. You had like back-to-back Boundary Waters trips, and then that.
Well,
was
I did, but I let it go like 2 weeks then, and I had
Yeah.
like high school kid peach fuzz beard. But I was. It was a pandemic a couple of years ago, so I was 45. First time I ever really tried to grow a beard. I spent years as an outcast in this family, clean shaven, and
You had a
I had
soul
the soul patch. I had
Yeah.
the flavor saver, as they call
Oh,
it. Yeah,
That's-
and she hates all of it.
I feel like Scott. I feel like you could pull off pork chops pretty well.
Oh,
You
yeah.
think so?
Or like the guy from the Hunger Games, you know, or like he's got like just the
It skinnies out. Yep.
yeah. I feel like that'd be a good look for
For
you.
sure.
No boy band beard is really what I should do. Just like chop it off here, and then maybe some zigzag pattern.
Oh, yeah.
Lightning bolt, Scott.
This right
Lightning
here.
bolt.
We should.
Lightning bolt.
Yeah.
I can start the lightning bolt back here and have
Yeah.
it go all the way to. Oh, that'd be fucking bitch.
Yeah, have it go all the way to your mouth. Have it go all the way to your mouth, so the next time you're giving a guy a blowjob, oh, there it is! There's the lightning bolt.
Shocking, isn't it, buddy?
Oh,
Am I the only one that had the lines in the hair or the lightning bolts when they were younger?
yeah, you're the only gay one on. So.
All right.
Solid burn.
Did
Seth.
you-
That's a
did you
solid
That was a
burn.
pretty good. I teed myself up for that one pretty
Dude,
good.
did
son.
you so you seriously had the lines cut? That's awesome.
Yeah, so we get the lines on the side of the head. My dad did not allow the lightning bolts. That's where he drew the line. But we could get like the 3 lines because that was okay. But if it was a lightning bolt, that was too far. That was too
Holy
risque.
smokes.
So
Holy
you just go to
smokes,
school and be
man.
like, see that? That's Adidas.
That was Vanilla Ice in the 90s.
Yeah.
That-
Yeah, the
honestly,
line.
that was the first thing I thought of was Vanilla Ice. Absolutely.
For
We
sure.
always, growing up, we always got buzzed, and then they leave
Yep.
the hair like a little rat tail in the back. So my dad had something to grab onto, and we were fucking off.
Oh,
Oh, I never did. I couldn't do that.
Oh,
That's like a haircut for abuse.
Yeah, well, it was. That's what he had it for.
you know.
No, I mean with the beard, I got to be careful because mine gets real white trash real fast because it doesn't grow down; it grows straight out.
Yep.
Looks like I was drinking Mountain Dew and got electrocuted. So,
Jesse, what are you doing over there?
I got to be real careful where I got to watch it before it just starts growing straight out, and I look
Yeah.
like
Los Angeles just start playing everywhere, huh?
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Deliverance.
Yep.
Can we all agree? Does Luke Combs have like the ugliest beard in the
Dude, he does.
You
Oh,
might as well be
so
Amish. Yeah.
I don't know who
His
that is.
life is just a smoke show, which makes total sense.
That's debatable. He has like, you ever met Butcher? You guys have all met Butcher, right?
Oh, yeah.
Or Scott,
Yeah, I
or Seth has. He's got like the same beard as him, like that stringy, fucking not thick, long-haired beard, and everyone calls him Luke Combs. And I'm like, I don't think it's a compliment. You guys are both pretty big dudes, and you got like this raggedy beard.
I mean, if someone compared me to a millionaire
Yeah.
that was very successful,
Is he
probably-
Amish?
I'd probably take it as a compliment.
No, he's not Amish. He's just ugly. Yep.
What are you saying, Corey?
I'm pretty sure if someone compared me to a millionaire, I wouldn't take offense to it.
There's some pretty ugly fucking millionaires out there.
True. Yeah.
He's not Amish. He's just from North Carolina.
Have you ever noticed sometimes the ugliest people make the hottest kids? Like when I was in high school, there was these two people, fugly, man. Like they were meant to find each other. They were that ugly. Their daughter, smoke show. It's like, how did that come out of that?
That's Jesus hitting the reset button on the gene pool.
Yeah, I've also seen the complete opposite. Two just extremely attractive people. You're like, like what happened? Yeah,
it's like Jägermeister and Red Bull. Like I don't like either, like individually, but somehow the molecules mix just right to be delicious. So it's kind of the same thing. Those ugly fuckers that you went to high school with or whatever.
You know what, Scott? Thanks. It all makes sense
Perfect
now.
analogy.
God dang it.
That's what Corey's going to refer to as
it's science.
Do you guys know about the Red Bull Jaeger bomb theory? Let me tell you this.
Very ahead of its time, but makes a lot of sense.
I was going to say that must make sense why all our kids look pretty decent.
Must.
They're young.
I don't know whether to take that as a compliment or take offense to that, because both things I just said would be kind of one extreme or the other. Either my wife and I are smoking hot or we're pretty fugly, so
flip the coin.
I said you had a good-looking kid, which isn't a pedophile. It's saying that you and your wife are ugly. As am I and everyone else.
I'm a beautiful person.
And you're inside. That's what your mom always taught you.
It's true. It's true. It's not a lie.
I feel like we could get away with a roast with this platform.
Oh, you could definitely
Very easily.
let's do it right now.
Let's do it.
Rolls and Mac. And
yes.
How's that?
Yes.
Oh, Jesus. Did he shit on your face after you got done blowing him with that?
it's gonna be like steak and cigar day, where Mac just puts us on a pedestal, like, you know what? Somebody just made fun of Seth. Go.
I couldn't believe that
Crickets in
you
the
guys
background.
couldn't think of anything.
Oh, it is hard to do on the spot. Most celebrity roasts, you get a little time to write some jokes at least.
They don't write half their jokes.
So you know those celebrity roasts. Have any of you guys seen the one of Justin Bieber?
Dude, I just watched it.
Dude, that is the best comeback ever for that kid, and I don't like him at all. Right? He's an obnoxious, 20-year-old fucking millionaire. But for him to get up on the stage, and I've seen it so many times, on Instagram, where he's like, what do you get if you give a 20-year-old kid $200 million? And everybody's like, huh? And he's like, a bunch of has-beens calling you a lesbian. Like, that is the best comeback ever.
It was, dude. It was.
I watched the I have Paramount Plus or whatever, and they have like all the roasts on there. And I watched the Donald Trump one, and it was pretty funny, except for they had that douchey dude from Jersey Shore, like
the most awkward set
Mike
of all
situation.
time.
Horrible.
I can't even watch it.
So bad that
It's like they told the whole auditorium, "Do not laugh at anything he said."
Like
Dude,
there was
it's
a
the
point
most
where
cringy.
he told a joke and it went to Ice Cube in the audience, and he just goes, "Oh fuck!" It was so bad, and he just kept going and going, and then I think the main guy, who's the main roast master,
Jeffrey Ross.
Yeah.
he went up there and was like, give the guy some break or whatever, and like started helping him out. It was so fucking bad.
Dude, I don't know how to explain it, because a couple of the things he said were kind of funny, but like he's just so unlikable. Nobody wanted to laugh at anything he said.
And then he'd say something about like this one guy. He'd be like, "Oh, I'm like this guy, except for I'm screwing all the hot chicks that he doesn't get with my all this money." And then the camera goes over to him, and he's like, "Good one."
yeah, good burn, dude. Like,
fuck.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Speaking of the roast, they did Bruce Willis. Do you guys know Bruce Willis is like can't
Pretty
talk
much
anymore and is gonna die soon?
Yeah.
He's
That
got some
sucks.
weird disease. That's why he's been in like 15 movies a year for the past 3 years. He's just trying to make fucking money to leave to people. Like you log on to like literally anything. You log on to like Netflix, and it's like, do you want to see this movie that Bruce Willis was in for 10 minutes, like 50 times. It's fucking terrible. And like then you go watch Die Hard, and you're like, what a fucking badass. And then you watch this bullshit that he's putting out now. But whatever, he's fucking making money. He's gonna leave it for the fucking family. He can't talk. I can't hear.
Well, like what? Like, does he have Parkinson's or what's the deal?
I forgot what it's called, but it's like some weird thing where he
it's like an autoimmune disease or something.
Yeah, and in the end, the brain don't go to the mouth, so he can't talk really anymore.
Max, do you have that?
Yeah. Yes. Oh, the roast of Mac.
Got him.
This is awesome. Got him. Gotcha, bitch.
Gotcha, bitch.
Have you guys seen the new Top Gun Maverick?
Yes.
I have not yet.
Yeah,
I liked it, Trevor. So I don't know.
I haven't seen the first one though.
What?
Yeah.
Me neither. Me neither.
I never saw the first one. It never interested me. And I don't remember if we rented the second one, the Maverick, or if we got it on streaming or whatever.
Amazon now, right?
I think.
Yeah.
Well, like I'd never seen the first one, and like I remember having this exact conversation with a couple of people at work, and they were blown the fuck away that I'd never seen the first Top Gun movie.
Right.
And I'm like, it never interested me to go see or to like. It's probably come up on Netflix a million times, and I'm like, meh, I don't really care that much. But Maverick was good. I mean, it wasn't a bad movie by any means.
I mean, to be fair, the first one came out before literally any of you were born.
No,
There's a good chance that
I learned how to
like
play
84. I went and saw it in the theater as like a little boy.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
Well, anyways, the new one, they bring Val Kilmer, Iceman, back. And I was wondering, well, Trevor, you never seen it. So, Scott, do you think it was warranted for him to come back? Because I thought it was just really depressing that they brought him back into the
He's
movie.
put a lot of weight.
I thought it was good. I thought it was cool that they did it. I mean, it is sad. You see that Amazon shit with Val Kilmer? I watched 10 minutes of it, and then I thought about Tombstone, and I turned it off, and I said, "Fuck it, I want to remember him as he was." But no, I thought it was good that they brought him back. I mean, he's not dead yet. It's a little fucked up. He's typing on a screen, and you know that if he takes that scarf off, there's just a fucking hole there. But
wait,
sad.
That was Val Kilmer, like Batman Val Kilmer?
Yeah.
Holy shit! I had no idea.
I know who the fuck that is. Yeah.
Yeah, Cory, exactly. I knew I had recognized him from somewhere, but I could not put my finger on it, and I just wasn't that big. But as soon as you said Val Kilmer, I'm like, where the hell was he in that movie? And then you said the box, and I'm like, no shit, that is what. Yeah, I had no idea that was him.
Well, and I heard it was a lot of that. What is that? IG whatever computer shit.
IG.
Instagram computer shit. Yeah.
Not going
CGI.
I don't know.
I need some IG shit.
CGI. There you go.
You know that? Hey, Cory, you know that disease where your brain won't go to your mouth and the thing.
He's got it. I'm telling you. So, Scott, you had said he's got like a little. Does he have like esophageal cancer, or like does he actually have that? I've never seen it. So I don't know.
I watched 10 minutes of the thing. He's got something. I think where they got the tracheotomy, and I mean it's fucked up. It's sad because Val Kilmer was a badass.
Like actually has it, not just in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, like legit, he's dying, and it's like been a long, slow, painful deal. Like I like Bruce Willis. And Val, like all my childhood heroes are fucking dying miserable, slow deaths, and it's pretty sad. But yeah, Val Kilmer, Tombstone, like Doc Holliday, like the fucking best performance ever in the history of ever. Yeah. And now you see him all fucked up. It's sad, but yeah.
Dude, Ghost in the Darkness. Did you guys ever see that one?
Yeah,
Lion Killer. Yeah.
So good.
Sitting up in a tree waiting for him because they're eating all the village people.
And Trevor's point, I thought he was a good fucking Batman too.
Yeah,
that was fun
for sure, dude. A lot better than the George Clooney one that had the nipples on the suit.
Yeah, with the nipples. They couldn't put nipples where they should fucking be. They put them on George goddamn Clooney.
I know.
Dude,
not
what?
Back
That was your takeaway.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the big deal with the nipples?
Got him in your face. I don't know. Could not see him. I mean,
You
like,
say what you will. You stick something like that in front of you, you fucking notice it.
yeah,
You can be all like, "Oh, I don't see that shit." Yeah, you fucking do.
yeah.
That's what my wife says. That's what my wife says.
Yeah, Seth's probably sitting on his computer, on his TV doing this when he's a kid. I'm like, just, mommy. She's like,
can
we
I-
can't watch this movie.
Can we get a pet bat?
Hey, you make jokes, Ken. So I saw your kid trying to breastfeed from you today on fucking video. And that's legit. That actually happened.
He does all the time.
Oh,
He's just
do
like-
tell. Do
That's
tell.
So you just like duct tape a pacifier to your tit. I saw you do it.
I was sitting there holding him, and he starts crying, and he's hungry, and I'm got the warming up the bottle, and then all of a sudden he goes like this, and he just completely just. He's trying to. I'm like, wrong nipple, dude. I'm the wrong person.
I'm gonna stop him after 4 or 5 minutes.
7
Oh, that's
minutes.
awesome. That's
Oh,
sweet.
that's funny.
Yeah, he's
Yep. All you're gonna get out of that titty is bush light, son.
just hair.
Oh,
Really?
man.
Oh, that's freaking awesome.
Like Meg from Family Guy, where she gives what did she give Brian? She gave him something, and it was like some of her hair was
Hair
in it.
pie.
Yeah. And
No.
she's like, now part of me will always be in you. And then she walks away.
You're eating hair.
Oh,
God, I haven't watched Family Guy in so long.
that's
That's what happens when you have a very impressionable 11-year-old and you're terrified of the things that are going to get said at school and
Yes.
daycare.
Yes.
Trevor, do you shelter your son?
No, I would say not in general. But like the world I grew up in is not the world he's growing up in, obviously,
Mhm.
right? But like my kid's a smart ass, like I am, and like I was at his age. And so like I got in trouble a lot for just letting my mouth write checks my ass couldn't cash. And so I'd like to avoid the conversations that I knew my parents had with school because I said something a little off kilter. And
Sure.
so we try our best to keep him away from some of that. Like I was scrolling on something not long ago and South Park episode, the hunting episode,
Oh yeah.
right? He knows that line by line now, so that's awesome, right? They're coming right for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. He thinks that's hilarious. He's already asking me and my wife, how old do I have to be to watch South Park? And I'm like, shit,
Yeah.
And these kids, their access to unlimited, internet probably doesn't help, but
Right.
yeah, I wouldn't say he's sheltered.
Responsible parenting. You just remove the obvious ones.
Yeah.
So-
It's a different world nowadays. It's definitely a different world.
Yeah, they're online seeing shit well before you introduce it to them.
Oh
My kid-
God, dude.
Long before I showed it to them.
Just
Yeah.
don't bring your kid over to Mac's house. Their babies are feeding on man titties and all kinds of weird stuff. So it'll mess them up for life, dude.
I
Don't
honestly,
worry, my kid will be way more the man than yours is.
How dare you?
saw the garbage out there before we even had Easton. I was like, do I want to bring my kid into this? Even at the time, 2.5 years ago, well, 3 before we conceived, just the shitstorm that was then, and even in 2019, it just there's so much garbage out there, and it's only going to get worse. It's not going to get better.
Yeah.
Right.
And I mean, my kid has an iPhone, right? I mean, he's 11 years old. And the only reason he has a phone is because, staying at home on his own, stuff like that, got to have the ability in an emergency.
Right.
And so he's had a phone for 6 months now, something like that. But, he's responsible with it at least. You got to get after him to close out YouTube, or Pokemon Go is the big one now. He's big into that. But, I mean, these kids have unlimited access to the world. They've got the world in their pocket.
Yep.
And so to your point, Scott, yeah, I mean, you'll never be able to hide the world from them. So,
Oh, it's
Does anyone have a landline anymore?
No.
No.
We just had this conversation. So I was running a training class yesterday, and it was funny. We're talking about landlines and how, everybody's got a cell phone nowadays and these Ring door cameras, which I have. And, I asked my group of 20 people that range in age of 20 years old to 65. And I think one hand went up, and it was a guy who still lives at home. He's a younger guy, hadn't moved out on his own yet, but he's the only one. Even my 65-year-old guy goes, "No, I've got a cell phone. Why the hell would I need that?"
Here's how out of touch with reality I am when we're having a conversation about kids having cell phones and, well, they need them if they have to call to get a ride. And I said, why don't they use the phone that the school provides? Because when I went to school, there was always, Seth, see your way out of this conversation. There was always either a pay phone or there was an office phone, and you could always just use that office phone and call your parents for a ride. And they're like, "Geez, Grandpa, that's not a thing anymore." I'm like, "Why not? Why is that?"
That's what we did. You'd
Yeah.
leave. Your parents collect.
Yes.
And then leave is, "I'm all ready. Come get me."
Yeah.
And they
State
say no.
your name.
Not too
State
proud
your
of
name at the beat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Deny the call, and then
Yeah.
you don't get charged for
And
it
go get the kid.
because
And that's the way it is. And I did the
Hell
same
yeah.
thing. Both kids, I said they need to have cell phones because they're home and we don't have a phone at home, or they're at school and if they need a ride and whatnot. But they never answer the fucking phone. They never used it for the reasons I gave it to them for. They're on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube and who knows what. They'd sit and watch Nerf gun fights on fucking YouTube. Literally sit their asses on the couch and watch people have a Nerf gun fight with Nerf guns across the room.
I sit and watch people on YouTube fish, and I've got 40 fucking fish rods in my basement, so I'm going to pass zero judgment.
That's different.
That's a good point.
I never thought of it that way because I know it's a big thing for kids to watch somebody play video games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that the laziest thing you've ever heard of? You're going to watch somebody play video games.
Right.
You ever watch porn?
It's compounding laziness.
Your wife.
Don't watch it for me.
Scott,
I need that.
Scott, I break a sweat when I do. So there's an activity involved.
Seth is putting in work.
Yeah. You guys don't videotape yourselves and then you sit on a bag of ice and review the tape so that you're ready to go for the next time?
Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see any of us doing anything like that.
Dude, can you imagine if when you clicked onto a porn site, if just randomly all of a sudden your camera would turn on so you could see yourself? How bad that would be. Kind of like Snapchat when you open Snapchat and you're like, ugh. Dude.
There's everyone's old face.
Yes, that'd be the best. That'd be the best virus you could put onto somebody's phone. Dude, right at the best part of the videos, it flips the camera on you, and you're like, "Oh no! Oh no!"
You'd have to do it old school with me. You have to put the Vaseline over the lens because there's never going to be a good angle for you.
The best part is
blurred.
if it ever did that, Seth, is you always have your phone low, so all you're going to see is just straight face.
That face creeps me out so much. I'm sitting here so uncomfortable while you're going at that angle.
I felt like one of the poor girls on the video. I was like, "Oh no! Oh no!"
Well,
Don't look at me.
did you ever see that? There was a meme going around Facebook where it was a chick who looked like she's giving a blowjob, and it said what he sees, and then all of a sudden it was a guy going, and it goes what she sees, and you could see like his belly, and like she's looking up.
And like his nose up.
Oh, that's terrible. Congratulations! Now we're gonna have to shield this episode from Trevor's kid.
I'll listen to it in the car. I don't care.
It's funny that you bring that up though, Trevor, because when I was in middle school, my buddies' parents wouldn't let him watch a show called Married with Children. I don't know if you guys are familiar.
Oh, yeah.
But his parents were
Al
like,
Bundy.
"That's too much. That's too risque. You can't watch that." And then you go and you look at like South Park and Family Guy and shit like that, and you're like, "Fuck it." They're showing Married with Children in Bible school compared to this shit.
Yeah.
Al Bundy's over there just speaking truths about the world.
Oh,
Yeah.
Dude, speaking of that guy's got the greatest job ever. Every show he's been on, he's just been like the dick. Like he's on the Modern Family. He's got that hot ass.
Yeah.
What nationality is she? Cuban
Cuban, I think.
or
I
Colombian?
think hot. I think is what you're looking for.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And he's this old guy. And he just says whatever he wants. Then he's on Married with Children. He's just a dick. And some of the stuff he used to say on that to like the one chick that was
My
trying
shoe
to
store?
buy shoes. He's like,
Yes.
"Ladies weren't so fat." You fit
Yes.
into the shoe.
I'm sorry, man. I don't have a size Volkswagen that I could strap into your feet. Like, oh yeah, he had the best freaking lines ever, dude. The best.
Yeah. Scott, to your point, I remember when King of the Hill came out.
Oh yeah.
Right? I love that show. And we lived in New Hope at that point. I remember Hank Hill saying, "Damn it, Bobby," for something. And then my younger brother, who is 8 years younger than me, said, "Damn it, Bobby," out loud because he heard it on the TV. We didn't say it. But my stepdad went ballistic because he thought we taught this like 2-year-old to say, "Damn it, Bobby." And I'm like, we didn't do shit. You're the one who had it on. I like the show. Like, you just watching it because you left the room.
Right.
But then my youngest brother walks around saying, "Damn it, Bobby," because he's a 2-year-old and he soaks up words like a sponge.
Right.
But guess who wasn't allowed to watch King of the Hill anymore because of
Oh,
Damn
dang
it,
it.
Bobby! Get off of Ladybird.
That is a great show too,
That
man.
was the same guy as the Beavis and Butthead. That was Mike Judge.
Yeah.
And, that was the same voice as the "You're the boys that have been whacking it in my trailer."
And if you
That
go
was
back and
one show I
watch
never
those,
saw a lot of.
dude,
I
if
never
you go
caught a
back
lot
and
of
watch
movies
those,
from
Scott, like that character looks legitimately like an old Hank Hill would look too.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, it's the best.
Damn it. Keep whacking it in my trailer.
My dad, my mom was always trying to be strict with stuff. My dad would always let us kids get away with way more risque shows. And I don't know how old I would have been. We should look it up. But my dad took me and my brother to see the Beavis and Butthead movie.
Oh.
Beavis and Butthead Do America.
Nice.
And dude, man, was that freaking funny seeing that in movie theaters.
I was a young man when my dad showed me Blazing Saddles.
Ooh.
And boy, I laughed my fucking ass off on that. Caddyshack and all that. And I also went to Beavis and Butthead in the theater. Maybe I saw you there.
Might have.
That
Were you the guy
was,
racking it up in the front row?
I was out in the trailer.
That was Scott's wife. She used to
Holy crap.
She used to let us watch Beavis and Butthead and South Park movies. She'd always, like, when she'd babysit, we go to Grandma and Grandpa's, and she'd go buy a bunch of mozzarella sticks, and we'd sit down in the basement with mozzarella sticks and fucking watch Beavis and Butthead and South Park.
Lex won't even let me watch that shit.
Oh,
Dude, it came out December 20th, 1996. I was 10 years old.
I was 4. I was 3.
I was
What?
21.
I was 3
It
years
was
old.
9.
Holy crap. Scott, you were 21?
96, 21, yeah.
Holy smokes.
Hey, Scott.
I didn't realize you were that much younger than me, Mac.
Mac's a baby.
I just
Somebody
Yeah.
just called you old. Was it you, Corey?
What?
I heard somebody say, "Hey, Scott," and I'm like, somebody just called me old, you sons of bitches.
I think it was Seth.
Trevor calling Mac old, so that's okay.
I think it
No, I
was
was calling Mac young. I didn't realize he was that much younger than me.
Flip that then.
He still
Yeah.
got a little milk right there.
I was born in 92. Is it on the big mustache, Corey? That you can't
Yeah.
Oh,
This big band mustache right here.
Speaking of Corey, I got a text message to read you quick. So I was talking to the guys from Homegrown,
Oh, God.
and Jeff
Why is
said,
this guy so awkward?
and Joey said we were talking about like they want us to come out there to do some like camera deployments and stuff and have a good time this summer.
Awesome.
And then they're talking about, oh yeah, we're gonna win at first place next year. And Joey goes, oh yeah, we really need to up our game next year, aka trade Cory and Mac. And I said, hey, there's an old guy too. And then Joey goes, yeah, I suppose. I said, maybe trade Cory because he can't hang out at night. Joey goes, laugh out loud, poor guy. Even Seth rallied after that dip.
Oh, freak. That's good.
Words.
Cory, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do to redeem yourself?
Nothing. He can't.
Find 10
He's
checks.
gonna forever be the guy that showed up the first year and was the first one in bed.
Again, I'm
He
going to set
did the
the record
responsible
straight.
thing.
I said ahead of time that I wouldn't allow myself to wreck shed hunting. Now, I also saw myself being a little bit more successful. Like finding one. But I told myself that I wouldn't get too out of line to where I couldn't enjoy shed hunting the next day. So purposely, I did go to bed. Like, yeah, I had enough, but I wasn't going to let it wreck my whole weekend, and I didn't. So there is that. But yeah, I did kind of bitch out a little bit.
I don't know what was more embarrassing, vouching for you and saying that you're a good guy and going to bed at 9 o'clock, or Tim
11:30.
or Tim dumping a shit ton of eggs the first 5 minutes we got there.
Yeah,
just
probably the eggs.
Be a shit show.
Probably the eggs.
It's the best. Tim did the right thing. He just set the precedent. Like, oh, these guys just drop eggs and shit. Like, yeah, the bar was so low after Tim did that we all just relaxed. Cory's like, frickin', I'm going to bed early. I'm like, I'm gonna take a dip and get all silly on the deck. Like, I don't even care what I do. So, yeah.
Speaking of hillbillies, they should just have that playing when we show up next year. Tim's farting outside and making turkeys gobble.
Seriously.
Going, oh fuck.
I do feel like if I were to get invited back, I feel like I gotta like pull out some stops or something. Be like, hey, I'm not stupid or gay or anything like that.
Well, Joey did. They also did find out that you had stogies. They're like, there was stogies here. I was like, yeah, Cory brought them, and he's like, the guy just can't do it. He just keeps fucking up.
No, Cory, I will stand by you, my friend. It would have been way worse if you kept drinking and then frickin' didn't even hunt the first farm because you were hungover. That would have been way frickin' worse.
Yeah.
So,
You would never live that down.
the only reason why I'm bummed you went to bed early is because trust me, I'm usually a go to bed early guy. Like I just don't care to stay up too late. But it got so much better after you went to bed. Like the laughter. So,
hey, that helps, Seth. Thanks, appreciate that. That makes it better.
Dad went to sleep, so it's time to have fun now.
Like, you know what's worse? Like the one guy that probably needs the rest, the guy with like a 3-month-old at home, stayed up till 2:30, and I didn't.
Yes.
But so remember when Tim was talking about how he woke up in the morning and he checked all the bathrooms and all the bathrooms were taken? I woke up early and I was taking just a thunderous shit on the toilet. And I was gonna go into the shower, right? I was like, man. So I just like took all my clothes off and started shitting because that feels really nice, right? And I'm just like scrolling on my phone and someone opens up the door. There wasn't any lights on. I was pooping in the dark. And someone just opens the light up. So here's me and probably like my flabby dad bod just sitting butt naked on the toilet, flipping through my phone. I'm pretty sure it was Tim because all of a sudden the door just closed really quick. And he said he woke up early. I never told him that was me, but it probably was.
Dude, you had the light off?
Yeah, it was
weirdo.
dark.
Why did you have the light?
To a naked man looking at his phone in the dark?
Yes, naked on a toilet.
I don't see an issue with any of this.
Dude, what
have you ever done it? Peaceful.
Dude.
Nobody's yelling at you. There's no Dad, knocking on the door.
Oh gosh.
So now when you guys go shed hunting, is that with a bow? Is that a gun? I'm pretty, I don't know shit about this stuff.
Shed hunting is strictly walking around looking for deer antlers on the ground. Some people, if they're good at training their dogs, train their dogs to do it. So That would certainly be nice, but my dog is not a shed dog.
Mm-hmm.
Scott, I'm guessing your old beagles or whatever you used to have didn't know how to find a shed.
No.
That was perfect.
My beagle never came home with a shed. Worst my beagle ever did was go out in the shed and take a shit on the floor.
Was he naked in the dark or?
Yeah.
Was he pooping? Was he filming Facebook while he was doing it?
Everyone knows that's what beagles want, is just a little bit of fucking quiet time to take a good shit.
Yeah, they're definitely a quiet dog.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's probably
my wife's. What was that?
No, I forgot. We're in a different episode now. No more dogs. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, no, my wife's uncle breeds them, and so I've seen videos of like 30 of them running, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds just peaceful to have around the house.
I was gonna say, by obviously a beagle, they don't bark; they just bay like a fucking hound. And so we'd go like up to my parents' like lake house, cottage cabin, whatever you want to call it, and the dog would be left alone for like 3 hours, and it would just boo, like howl. And the neighbor lady would sit and bark at me when I'd get back, pun intended, I guess. And about, oh, your dog just barks the whole time you're gone. But that fucking bitch, she wouldn't let us add on a room to the fucking place, so I lit her up, and then she died like a week later. Anyway.
Jeez. What?
I was like, bitch, you can bark all fucking day because I got to sleep on an inflated mattress in the kitchen because of your stupid ass. And then she died like a week later. Whatever.
Your camera messing up, you keep poking in and out like you're looking for a naked dude on the toilet.
No. Speaking of dogs, Ruff was sitting there fucking barking, waving Marvin up. So Mariah came out and she wasn't too happy, so I had to go get him.
Oh no!
And he had to go to the bathroom. Now I got the fucking garage door open, 30-degree air coming in. Is
it cold there?
Yeah.
It is now, yeah, cooled off. We had 80 degrees. We had 80 degrees or 84 degrees yesterday.
For like 3 days. Yeah.
And now it's 45 for a high today. And I don't know, it's probably 20, 25 degrees out there right now.
It wasn't supposed to get below freezing here forever. And now tomorrow night and Monday night are now all supposed to be below freezing. That's why Mac's losing his shit about the 8 inches of snow. That's not going to do anything. So
yeah, I've already got employees texting me saying, "What's the plan for Monday?" And I'm like, "Hope it fucking melts." That's what my plan is.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll just find out, Corey. We'll wait and see. We'll just wait and see, and then I'll just text you and be like, "You in running? You guys got your guys going in there plowing?" No, we'll be in there. Fucking.
You know what my plan is? If it snows, fuck them. Just like that guy in Maine. What do you feel about the resident safety here in Maine? Fuck them.
I don't know when this episode's gonna air, but if somebody's listening to it in June, they're like, "What the frick are they talking snow?"
Oh, whatever. We're in the Midwest. It snows in June.
It's April 15th.
April 15th. Yep. Tax day.
April
You got your taxes, everybody.
April 18th, idiot.
April 18th.
What?
It's
on a Saturday.
It's weird that I'm like 4.5 hours away from you, and I swear to God, at 11:45, it's still almost 70.
Jeez.
What the frick?
Yeah, it's like mid-30s here right now.
Yeah,
I wore shorts when I took the dog to the vet this morning, and then I got home, and then I think I went to take her out, and I'm like, what the hell was I thinking? And then I was talking to my wife, and she goes, "No, you're not crazy. I mean, you are, but no, you're not crazy on this part. But no, it's getting colder."
Yeah.
And like we went and saw that the Super Mario Brothers movie tonight.
Nice.
And I was like, "Fuck this! I'm changing. Like I'm not wearing shorts the rest of the day. It's actually cold out now.
Yep.
Like it progressively got chillier throughout the morning."
It did for sure.
First time today. It was almost. Alex had 3 baseball games this week, and I had to go straight from work in like jeans and shit. And it was like fucking 90.
Yeah. Yeah, it was upper 80s here for like 3 days in a row. Well, our snow melted real fast.
My folks live in Hartford, and every time I would call them, they're like, "Oh, how much snow you got?" Like we barely have any here. That's funny, Mom and Dad. Yeah, and they're even a little bit north of you, so yeah, I'm sure that you guys had a much more mild winter compared to us. So.
Did you just like bring them back? Like, I don't know how many more winters you got, old ass people. Like,
Yeah, that's dark, Seth.
Jesus is watching. Better start going to church and start making up for all that bad shit you did.
I was so pissed. So it was 80, whatever, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I think it was like 75 on Friday.
Yeah.
And it got to be, I got home on Tuesday and I was like, it's kind of warm in the house. And Mariah's like, yeah, it's pretty warm. I go check the Nest thermostat. It's 80 degrees in the house.
mm-hmm.
And I have all the windows open and there's no breeze and it's humid. And I'm like, we can make it the night. And all of a sudden, like 15 minutes later, I just hear Marv and AC. And I'm like, okay. So she made me turn the air conditioner on for them 3 days. And I'm like, I'm not turning the air conditioner on. And then all of a sudden I'm like, well, wait a minute. I don't want to be sitting in bed all fucking sweaty. And I'm like, it's probably a good time to test it to make sure it runs. So I'm like, that's a good idea, hon. Like, I'll turn. So I had the air conditioner on all week. I had it set it.
Good job being compliant.
Oh, yeah.
Way to go, honey.
Well, I wanted to turn it on, but I'm such a cheap ass. I would have sat there and just dealt with it. But then, like, she said something about Marvin. I'm like, I'm not even gonna. Okay, it's fine. I'll just turn it on. Like,
discussion's done.
Yeah, I've lost that battle several times because I love sleeping with the windows open, right? Like, especially because we grew up poor. There was literally no air conditioning until I was a junior in high school. Mm-hmm. So it's very second nature for me to sleep with the windows open. And yeah, she's not about it. And I'm like, oh, come on. It's like, well, we can hear the trains. I'm like, yeah, so
that puts you to sleep.
Right.
What's that?
That puts you to sleep.
It does. Well, and then she brought up the fact one time, like, well, when Easton wakes up, are you going to go lay in there with him, trying to get him to fall back asleep? I'm like, I'll go turn the air conditioner. I like my sleep. So.
And knowing your kid, Corey, when that train in the distance goes, boop, boop, he'd sit right up and go, doo doo.
Oh, yeah. Daddy, train. You hear a train?
The best, like, if you didn't have kids or married, and like, I would just put a box fan by the bed and turn it on high and just go to sleep. Like, that'd be a good enough air conditioner. You get some air blowing on you, whatever. That's fine.
Yeah. See, my kids are like adults, basically. Alex is 17, Ian is 21. And so, fuck them. Everybody deal with the heat. So I got the windows open all week. And what was it? 2 nights ago, the fucking neighbors across the street, they have teenagers and they have this like very effeminate son. So he's out there with his friend and they're like whispering about whatever. And then the teenage daughter comes home, erupts in, I am 17 years old and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, bitch, I'm going to fucking kill you. And I fall asleep and I wake up at 3:00 in the morning to the neighbor lady like yelling for her dog for a half hour straight. And she does that thing that people with dogs do that starts off with, hey, come here. And then it's an angry, like, get over here. And then you succumb to, you want a treat? You want a treat? Please, for the love of God, bring your fucking ass into this house. And then the fucking Jake breakers start going by. I swear to God, I'm going to fucking kill somebody. Close the windows and turn on the goddamn air conditioning.
It's funny, the other night, so where we live, there's a concrete company that they've got a facility here. My older brother works for them, but he works for the one down in Burnsville. And so it's like 11 o'clock the other night, and I think it was Saturday night, and I'm still awake, and I'm sitting in the office, learning how to fish from somebody else on YouTube, I guess. Like these kids with their video games. And yeah, it's like 11 o'clock midnight. I don't remember. And I text my older brother because all I see, it's like my window is right here. And so this window is to the north. And all I can hear is a loader going. And it's like just loud as shit. So I text my older brother because I look out the window and that place is lit up like a fucking Christmas tree.
Huh.
And I text him something like, somebody's at work at Semstone and it is loud as fuck. And there was like 18 U's in the word fuck. He texts back, here's their customer service number 24 hours a day. I'm like, I'm not calling. The guy who's doing this is probably pissed that he's there as well.
Right.
But fuck, was that loud? I was like, what the hell are they doing that is so important right now?
Yeah.
You're gonna call customer service and be like, sir, there's a Trevor that lives just in the development over there, and he isn't very appreciative about how loud you are working at 11 o'clock at night. Can you please keep it down in the loader, shut the backup alarm off, shut your lights off, just go home.
It's twice as loud.
Exactly. Yeah.
And speaking of that, how stupid people are. Seth, tell them what you guys had to deal with the new water tower.
Oh, the lights?
Yeah. This is the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah. We built a brand new water tower and we put all these lights on it so that you can shine it up on the bowl and advertise the city's logo and, lit up nice and bright, looked really good. And the residents in the area complained and whined. It's too bright. We can't even sleep at night. The light shining in our windows. They claimed that it was so bright they couldn't even sleep at night. So we had to go out there and remove half the bulbs from half these brand new light pedestals to cut down the lumens and darken down the tower a little bit. So yeah, it's freaking hilarious.
Well, and then they also these are the same people that buy a house next to a shit plant.
Yes.
And then they open their windows and complain on how the shit plant stinks.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Hey, Mac, did you climb up on top of that water tower and take those light bulbs out?
It's not on the top. They're down below shining up. But
yeah, they're on 30-foot poles down below.
But Cory, yes, I could because I did climb a water tower with Seth.
He did.
Not saying I was up there very long, and I might have had little fucking ocean legs up there, sea legs shaking so bad, but I got up there.
180 feet off the ground.
Well, I got to give it to you, Mac. I spent 3 years in water wastewater, and I never had to climb a tower, so you got one up on me. But
I took one. We had a gentleman working with us the other day, and he had never climbed one, so we went up it. And so for people that don't know, if you see some of these large structure water towers, you actually climb up the inside, and it's just a big steel tube. And so you go up 20-foot sections of ladder at a time and then get off on a catwalk and go up again. So there's 5 sections to get to the bottom of the bowl. So you go up about 100 feet, then you walk on a catwalk to the center of the structure, and then you go up a tube through the middle of the bowl of water. And that's the final climb's about 70 feet or 75 feet, something like that. So we get all the way up 100 feet, get to the catwalk, and I'm like, here's the deal, man. If you've been uncomfortable so far, and you could tell he was a little uncomfortable, but didn't say much. I was like, this part's probably the worst part. It's a longer climb. You get tired. You're tied off, but it's just kind of awkward climbing out at the top. But once you're out, you're good. And he looks at me and goes, yeah, I think I'm good. I'm like, okay. So I go up top, do my inspection, come back down, walk back over to climb down this thing. So we got 100 feet left to climb down. And I hook up. I'm like, okay, when you hook up, go like this. And just let it hang down below you. You're good to go. And I walk down, get to the next pedestal. And I'm waiting and waiting. And then I just kind of hear I look up and I don't see the guy. I'm like, you good? Everything good? And then I can't, he won't even peek down this ladder to me. And all I hear is, I can't do it. I'm like, oh, yeah. So I climb back up 20 feet. Climb back up and I crawl out and he's just kind of standing up against the wall. I was like, hey, man, don't worry. You don't have to panic. We'll get you down. And he looks at me and he goes, no, I can't. I can't do it. You could tell he was too scared. He was too scared to try to hook up and climb back down. And I looked at him and right away I was like, holy frick, am I going to have to call the fire department? But, dude, I just looked at the guy. I was like, here's the deal, man. Not going down is not an option. You can't stay up here.
You can't live up here for now.
Yeah. You have to go down.
Couch coming up and a fucking
yeah. And I had to hook up his harness. I had to hook his harness onto the fall restraint system for him. I had to coach him down basically every step. and it was a lot of work. But I was so glad he climbed down, because if I had to call the fire department, I don't know how the frick they'd have gotten a guy down from there. So,
dude, the best part is when I climbed the water tower with you, we made it up, whatever, and then you're like, and then we get to the bowl, and we're starting to go up, and I make like 2 steps, and you're like, here's the deal. Don't look down.
don't.
Look up at me. Just look at me. Do not look down. And then we get up to the top. You climb out. You're way ahead of me, and I get up to the top. And then you look at me and go, okay, this is where it gets sketchy. You have to unhook and climb out. And I'm like, what the fuck?
This is where. This is the part after you just have to look down.
Yeah. And I was like, oh. So then we're up on top of the water tower off of 94, and I'm shaking. It was kind of windy that day, so you can feel the water tower kind of moving a little bit, you know. And my freaking legs are shaking. I'm scared. I'm like, I don't like this. And all of a sudden, Seth's just kind of doing his thing, you know. And all of a sudden, he looks over. He's like, dude, look at all the deer trails over here. Look at this. Is this prime deer hunting land now? Like, look at that. Look up 94. You could see like damn near St. Cloud. And he's making me look around, like trying to make it better. And it was like a total of 5 minutes. I'm like, I gotta get out of here.
I gotta go down.
He's like, all right, well. No, you get to the sketchy part, and then you just hook on your harness.
It's totally worth it. If you ever get the chance to climb one, you should do it. But it's a workout.
Oh, I'd like to do it again, but
should.
I couldn't see, like, the climb down is a lot easier than the climb up. Like,
For
you know
sure.
you're going to be on the ground, and then it's like when you're on a boat and it's windy out. The minute you get on the ground, you're just kissing it. You're just like, oh, thank God.
Max will get this. So you climb basically through it and up to the top, right? So you can hire a company to come in, and they'll literally scuba dive into your water tower to inspect the inside of the water tower.
Yeah.
To me, that's worse.
That's terrifying.
What if something happens when you're inside a big toilet bowl?
Right.
You're screwed. Like,
I don't even think
we'll go back from that.
Like, I think it's worse when they had the last couple of summers, they've had them come paint the water tower, and they got everything on the outside, and they're climbing up there every day, and then they're on the outside of it painting and putting stickers and stuff on there. That's way fucking worse.
Here's how cheap our city is. So we got a good deal on these guys, and that should probably tell you enough. But this guy literally had like a 10-foot roller, and he's just rolling. Like, they weren't even using a sprayer. He was just sitting there rolling. We just put a brand new lift station panel in right below it, right? Like, well, not right below it. It's 30 feet away. The lift station was, but the panel. And the whole top of the lift station is just covered in, like, hands. Because, like, they didn't tape it off or put any plastic on it. But, yeah, so he's just here, and there's like, the ground's just tanned because there's so much paint splattered from this dude up there dunking it in the 5-gallon pail and rolling the paint on.
You get what you pay for. Get what you pay for.
I'm pretty sure a couple letters are crooked, but I didn't have the heart to tell the guy.
That's just normal for up there in your neck of the woods.
Yeah. Just take some of the tower lights down. People won't even be able to see the letters, so it'll be good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll take our tower lights down. Okay.
No one wants to live there. No one wants to know where you are.
No, we don't want to advertise.
So
funny.
All right. Does anyone else have anything else to say? We should probably get to bed here.
Probably should.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Quiet outside of the office. I'm pretty sure my whole family said, screw it, we're out.
Nice.
I don't even hear the dog.
Yeah.
For once, I'm going to crawl into bed and put my cold feet up against the wife's legs.
Do it.
You show her.
I'm going to show her.
Let us know how that goes for you, Seth.
Yeah,
I'm probably not going to do it.
You lost your gumption very quick there.
I'm not afraid. I'm just terrified.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Border Outdoors, I'm Mac.
I'm Seth.
Scott.
Corey.
Trevor.
We'll talk to you guys later.
Thanks for listening to the Border Outdoors podcast. Follow us on Instagram and be sure to join, follow, and share the Border Outdoors Facebook community page. Also, leave us a 5-star rating and review on Spotify, Apple, or whatever podcast hosting site you listen to. Tune in next week, see what we're talking about, and make sure to get out there and make your own memories.
Hunting and fishing, come.